following is a message of reconciliation, hip-hop, history, and brotherhood. My name is Dr. Derrick Colon, and today I want to address a tension that has been increasingly visible within hip-hop discourse over the past several years, particularly around questions of origins, ownership, race, and cultural contribution. This lecture is not intended as polemic. It's an invitation to historical clarity, to empathy, and to reconciliation grounded in evidence rather than emotion alone. Much of the public attention around this debate has focused on a comment made by Fat Joe suggesting that Black Americans and Puerto Ricans contributed equally to the creation of hip-hop. However, for the sake of historical accuracy, it is important to clarify that Fat Joe did not initiate this controversy. The tension was already present in the culture prior to his statement. Earlier public remarks by Lord Jamar, later echoed by Grandmaster Caz, characterized Puerto Ricans as guests in the house of hip-hop. I do not raise this point to inflame disagreement or assign blame. I raise it to add context. Fat Joe's 50-50 comment did not emerge in a vacuum. It was a response to an ongoing conversation about belonging, contribution, and ownership within hip-hop culture. Understanding this sequence matters. It allows us to see this debate not as a sudden provocation, but as a long, unresolved dialogue. Before engaging that disagreement further, it is essential to acknowledge the historical trauma that shapes the reaction on all sides. Here are some points to consider. Number 1, historical context, cultural theft and legitimate suspicion. African Americans have experienced the systematic extraction of cultural labor across American history. This pattern produces earned skepticism. Therefore, when another group speaks about shared creation, the concern is not abstract, it is historically conditioned. That concern deserves respect. This does not dismiss that pain, it begins by affirming it. However, historical sensitivity must not come at the cost of historical accuracy. Number 2, the Bronx as a cultural ecosystem. Hip-hop did not emerge in a vacuum, nor did it emerge as a national culture overnight. It emerged from a specific geography, the Bronx, and from a specific social environment. The Bronx of the late 60s and early 70s was a dense ecosystem of African Americans, Puerto Ricans, and Caribbean immigrants, particularly Jamaicans. This was not metaphorical proximity. It was literal. People lived in the same buildings. Children attended the same schools. Families shared food, language, music, and survival strategies. The Bronx functioned as a black and brown commons, shaped by redlining, disinvestment, and structural neglect. Culture was not borrowed there. It was co-created through daily life. Number 3, a longer musical continuum. It is crucial to understand hip-hop not as an isolated invention, but as a part of a much older Afro-diasporic musical conversation. Long before hip-hop, Black American musical traditions influenced Caribbean music. Caribbean, Cuban, and Puerto Rican rhythms influenced Black American forms. Jazz, Afro-Cuban music, bomba, plena, and later salsa all existed in dialogue. The Black Puerto Rican musical relationship predates hip-hop by decades. Hip-hop, then, is not an anomaly. It is a culmination. 4, political solidarity, the Black Panthers and the Young Lords. Cultural unity in the Bronx was mirrored by political unity. The Black Panther Party and the Young Lords Organization formed strategic alliances in the late 1960s and early 1970s. They were united by shared conditions: police brutality, poor housing, inadequate health care, and educational neglect. They collaborated on free breakfast programs, community health initiatives, and political education. This was not symbolic solidarity. It was material cooperation. These movements understood something critical. Black and Puerto Rican liberation were interconnected. That worldview informed the generation that created hip-hop. 5. Race, ancestry, and Puerto Rican identity. Another often overlooked factor in this discussion is African ancestry within Puerto Rican identity. Puerto Rican identity is historically triracial: African, Indigenous Taino, and European. And many Puerto Ricans are racially Black. Many have African lineage that is minimized or erased through U.S. racial frameworks. In my own case, this is not abstract scholarship. My sister is half African American. Some of my cousins are half African American. My grandchildren are half African American. And my son-in-law is African American from the Deep South. My lineage includes African ancestry. So this is not outsiders speaking about Black culture. This is a conversation shaped by intertwined families and shared histories. 6. Hip-hop's multiracial reality without erasure. When we state that hip-hop emerged from Black Americans, Puerto Ricans, and Caribbean communities in the Bronx, this does not diminish Black American leadership, erase Black foundational contributions, or reassign ownership away from Black communities. What it does is accurately describe the social conditions under which hip-hop was born. Acknowledging Puerto Rican and Caribbean inclusion does not negate Black American inclusion. These truths are not mutually exclusive. Historical accuracy requires holding multiple truths simultaneously. 7. Reconciliation without apology for truth. I will not apologize for asserting that hip-hop emerged from a multiracial, Afro-diasporic environment because the historical record supports this. However, I will state unequivocally, Puerto Ricans are not adversaries to Black Americans in hip-hop history. This has become a struggle over credit. It has become a competition for ownership. And what I am calling for is to resist the narratives that benefit from our division. The same systems that exploited Black creativity benefit when Black and brown communities are pitted against one another. In conclusion, toward a fuller story, this lecture is a call for reconciliation over rivalry, complexity over reduction, and community memory over internet sound bites. Hip-hop emerged from shared struggle, shared creativity, and shared resistance. Its power lies precisely in that collective origin. We are more connected than we are divided, and hip-hop at its foundation has always testified to that truth. Grace and peace.